It is Better Country 101.7 The Bull. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning as we are hanging out and we're getting ready for the holiday season here. You know, we're getting into the later portions of November here, and the holidays will be here before you know it. And some guys that are going to be helping us bring in the holiday season is coming to the Legacy Theater in Carthage, coming up with a show happening in early December, or excuse me, that is actually happening this weekend, I should say. That's happening this Saturday, and we're happy to talk about it. Rockapella Christmas, one of the guys from Rockapella joining us. That is Jeff Thacher joining us here this morning. Jeff, how are you doing this morning?
Good, thank you. Good morning. I think it's time for some Christmas.
I think it is.
Rush, but, you know.
You know what? There's going to be some people who agree with you like me, but then there's people out there who don't. But you know what? It's pretty exciting to get to talk Christmas here on the morning show here. So, Jeff, let's talk about, we'll get to know you here, and then we'll talk about the group as a whole here. But let's get to know you a little bit more. Where did your music journey start? Have you always been into music, and what kind of got you into the a cappella side of things?
You know, a cappella is a funny thing. We've all been exposed to some of it in the last 10 years or so, but I started as, a music kid in high school, and I took piano lessons and all that stuff in the choir and stuff like that. And I figured out that I could do beatboxing pretty well, and better than many people I knew. And I grew up around the era when hip-hop appeared and people were doing that. So along comes this thing called contemporary a cappella, which sounds very fancy, but it basically means 4, 5, 6 people on stage, and one of them usually is a beatboxer full-time, like playing percussion in an orchestra, except it's a rock band. So, you know, many of your listeners have probably seen or bumped into a cappella or contemporary a cappella, as it may be, and Rockapella is one of those successful groups that's kind of survived, and we got our big break on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, that PBS game show for kids that was on the 90s. And a lot of people grew up watching that every day. And so, when you're kind of a novelty, you need a way for people to find you. So along comes young Jeff, and Rockapella was looking for that, solidifying that full band experience with no instruments. And I decided, okay, I'm going to audition for this. And I got on, and I was suddenly on PBS on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego in a funny hat. And we've been touring the globe since then.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to say, Christmas and vocal music, I mean, come on.
I mean,
it's the same thing, basically.
And you see, the thing about it is, you know, when you go around and you do these Christmas shows, I mean, you don't have to worry about people not knowing your stuff. I mean, everybody can sing along to their favorite holiday songs, and that's got to make your shows a lot more exciting here when we're talking about the Christmas shows anyway.
Yeah, and it's, just speaking objectively without Christmas, seeing a group of guys on stage who can give the punch and power of a pop rock show, and you don't see any instruments. Like, there's a really intense connection there. It's like a human thing. And, you don't have to look at the guitar or the keyboard and say, oh, I wish I could play that, or I wonder how that works. It's very honest. It's just, you see us up there. We're making everything out of our mouths and bodies and what have you. And in between, we're chatting with you. So that, to me, is perfect for Christmas. I mean, you need that sincerity. You need that, let's just celebrate the sound of the voice together. And it's not too early for this Saturday. I think, it's close enough to Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of the best holidays anyone's ever invented. But I think it's just right. Let's go. Carthage said we're number one.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, they're ready for you, and you know what? I'm ready as well. Listening to the Christmas music never gets old for me. We're talking with Jeff Thacher from Rockapella. Rockapella Christmas coming to the Legacy Theater in Carthage. That is this Saturday. Tickets are still available. I believe you can get some of those on the Legacy Theater's website, so make sure you check that out. But Jeff, let's talk about the group that you've got there. You've got 5 guys, actually. 5 guys that take the stage. You kind of do the beatboxing, you said a little bit. What do the other guys do then? Obviously, sing is a part of it, but how does that all work with you guys just using your voices and making it sound like a whole rock band is up there on the stage?
Well, the main pieces that are people are very familiar with. You got a lead vocal, whoever's singing the song. Then you've got the drummer, who's me, and then you have to have a guy who can sing low. Everybody loves a bass singer. They get a round of applause just for opening their mouth. And Rockapella is no exception. We've been very fortunate to have some of the best bass singers in the whole universe work with us. So we've got one of those coming on Saturday. And then those other two voices, that's where the kind of the art of a cappella is, because you've got lead and you've got drums and bass, but what do you do with the other two? And that's where arrangements matter. The term arrangement, like where do you put the notes? How do you fill out the chord of the song? And how do you move that? And how do you keep things, chugga, chugga, chugga with rhythm? So that is where the art of it, and Rockapella, we've seemed to have figured it out. So that's the 5 pieces right there. And, we're facing you. We're very comfortable on stage. So we're facing you. It's like we're in your living room and we're singing to you.
Again, we're talking with Jeff Thacher from Rockapella. Rockapella Christmas coming to the Legacy Theater here this Saturday. And, I'm looking at each of your profiles here on your website, which is rockapella.com. Folks can check it out and kind of get to know a little bit more about you guys. You guys have got some interesting backgrounds, some of you band members. I mean, you guys have gotten the chance to perform with some pretty big names. I mean, but I'm kind of curious, though, in regards to, the world of acapella. A lot of people, when they think acapella, they think like a pentatonics or a home free. Do you guys take any kind of, things from their shows or their performances, and do you use it in your shows, or you kind of just do your own thing with those things kind of in the background?
Well, those guys and girls, they grew up listening to us. Actually, Home Free, they're friends of mine. I live in Nashville. The bass of Home Free, Tim Faust, is one of my older friends, and he actually auditioned for Rockapella when he was younger. So they grew up, they watched Carmen Sandiego on PBS with us. They grew up listening to us. We came out with an all-originals a cappella album in the 90s that was one of the first ones to really commit to it. They grew up listening to that in their car stereos, the whole thing, putting the CD on, So I don't mean to brag, but we don't take from them, they take from us in a nice way.
Yeah.
Like, Tim's on record from Home Free speaking about that. Like, he is a diehard Rockapella fan. So, he's a wonderful performer. That group has a great show. I've been to the Ryman Theater and seen them. They're great. They've got, they're playing the Opry coming up. But Pentatonics, they cut their teeth on TV. They did the internet. They did TV. They've had fantastic success. And having been on TV, the Carmen Sandiego show and commercials and stuff like that, I see that and I go, all right, that's how it's done, the power of television. So we're very happy for their success, and we're doing what we do.
So, and I find that
interesting. There's room for everybody.
Yeah, no, I find that interesting. The folks that that think of those two groups, you guys are where they came from, and I think that's just such a fascinating thing. And did you ever think that you guys, your group, when you got this started back in the 90s, did you guys think that you would ever have that kind of impact, or are you just kind of blown away that guys like that have taken from what you guys have been able to do?
Nope, no idea. I mean, it's not the kind of thing you can predict. Certainly not my job in the group. It's something you could, I'd never grown up thinking like, oh, that's how you do it. You become a beatboxer with a singing group that wears costumes on PBS. That never occurred to me. But, as many musicians and artists and even not artists would attest, like sometimes you just have to take it as it comes. Like, let's try this, or this door opens and off you go. And some of it sounds really silly, but I've seen the world, and I've been able to travel with the group and make people happy. And, that I'm very grateful for.
We're talking with Jeff Thacher from Rockapella Christmas coming to the Legacy Theater in Carthage. That is this Saturday. That is going to be a fantastic show, getting folks ready for the holiday season, just the weekend before Thanksgiving. I know you guys are touring the world there and are, getting ready for a great holiday season. Where can folks keep up to date with, where you guys are and what you guys are up to these days?
Well, there's always rockapella.com. Also, Instagram, we when we do music videos, we pop things up on there, and our YouTube account, of course. We just have put out non-Christmas stuff. We just put out a couple Beatles covers. So if you want to hear sort of the Rockapella spin on a couple Beatles songs, we did Come Together the other day, and one or two others over there. So check out our YouTube channel. I think that's probably a good introduction. And really look for the account that says Rockapella, because a lot of people post stuff with our name in it. But the real account will have the good stuff.
The good stuff indeed, and the good stuff is coming to Carthage if you want to see it in person. Rockapella Christmas. Rockapella, Jeff Thacher joining us here on 101.7 The Bull. Jeff, we appreciate the time, and we look forward to your show this Saturday. Going to be a whole lot of fun, and we appreciate you taking some time and chatting with us.
Can't wait to start the season with all of you.